Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, we've heard that you've won many laurels in the field of training and development, recruitment. You won the World HR Congress Award, the award from World HR Congress, as well as the Peacock Award. So,
Yeah, Golden Peacock Award.
the
Yeah.
Golden Peacock Award. So, what has been your career mantra, your mantra for success till now?
See, whatever you do, you need to put your passion, uh, hunger for knowing new things, and the discipline, which in word one say as a PhD. So any process you take in HR, if you work with passion and by put discipline through processes, and what is the recent trends in that, your hunger to know more and more about that process, what is happening globally, it really helps you in terms of getting outside in perspective. Applying for awards actually help in terms of how outside world recognizing your work, whatever is happening in the organization. So it's like both the process helps you to see inside out and outside in for human resource function. As we rightly said, in VUCA culture, today the environment is very volatile, complex, ambiguous kind of a situation. Whatever is the success mantra yesterday, the mantra is changing every day. So as a HR people, how we are adaptive, how we are changing with the time, and able to see which others are not able to see. So in my mind, HR is a role of a mother in the organization, and you have to extend care, you have to create culture, and whatever upbringing you bring in, that is the sustainable way, which helps organization to move forward. So these are the few things actually really helping in terms of, I'm not saying success, but it's a continuous process which we have adopted in our organization.
So, you had a career spanning more than 20 years now. So, how has HR from that time changed?
Earlier it was more in terms of transactional HR, where all activity based HR practices. Now I can see it's a more of a transformational, and it is going up to the level, how HR can be close to business and add value strategically. So earlier transactional versus I see HR now as a strategic business partner, HR as an employee champion, and bringing change in the organization. So a lot of expectation with respect to organization development, where it is expected from HR. And as it's moving, it's look like moving from support function to line function. So that's something which I look at it, and that's the reason HR understanding business and constant touch with business really will help in terms of moving towards that expectation from facilitator's role or a support role to line role.
Sir, after attending today's session with the students of SCMHRD, do you feel there is a disconnect between academics and the industry?
As rightly said, knowledge without application is no good. So I see there is a huge opportunity to look at things little differently, and there where industry academia kind of a partnership will really help in terms of getting, knowing about the construct of the concept in HR, but how practically it is happening in the industrial world. If both the things can marry, I think we have a duty to create talent for future and talent for India. So I think this partnership can really help in terms of how theoretical construct, which we completely lose sight when we work in industry, and when in college, even faculty is teaching, they are trying, but it's not 100% alignment what is going to happen in industry. So even though people, so students scoring good marks and all that, and when they come to industry, they see a lot of challenge in terms of, I'm not saying shock, but there's a lot of discomfort in terms of what we studied versus what is expected to deliver. So I see a huge opportunity there.
And sir, according to you, what should be the correct mix for a curriculum? Should it be more of case studies or industrial field trips or seminars organized by professionals like you?
What I see is, as student as an adult, and as they grow in their life, experiential learning is a great tool which is getting implemented across. So teaching along with some kind of a case study method and getting into the deliberations, and it throws a lot of opportunity from pedagogy system where faculty is teaching and student listening, versus here when you work in group and you do case studies and all that, there is a peer level learning happening, there is a lot of introspection happening, so self level learning and the wisdom which faculty can bring in, and good mix of faculty as well as industry expert. I think it's a 360 degree in my mind in terms of getting value about that particular concept or a subject at the classroom.
Sir, you are an OD practitioner, organization development practitioner, consultant.
I am not. We are starting the journey actually.
So what is the scope for OD practitioners in today's environment?
I see huge opportunity for OD expert because, as I said earlier, the UCCA times, and when UCCA times is happening, each stage we really don't know what will work, what will not work. Continuously asking questions, and some of the OD phases and processes, implementation of that, it really helps organization to create some kind of a listening strategy where you learn or listen from your vendors, outside employees, a total level of systems in the organization. So I think it's a huge scope for organization development, and we are dealing with knowledge workers. So some of the concepts of appreciative inquiry, or some of the dialogic OD, or some of the tools and techniques which has been used globally, I see huge opportunity of OD implementation in organization, and it is moving from individual development to organization development. So it's in OD term, it's a big eye. If you do a development or organization, individual can be a subset of that, and there can be a proper alignment and proper synchronization of both the elements. One can look at it. So I see a huge scope for this OD.
So how was your interaction with our batch?
It's good. I can see there's a lot of energy, and something which we explore, like we studied in 9 months. I think they can pick up things, especially the second half, the kind of acquiring those competency and practicing. It was really a great feeling, and it is a belief that even student with maybe 5-6 hours of reading, and if they will really give their best, they can imbibe and inculcate that competency in them. So I'm personally very happy with the afternoon interactions where they practice all phases of OD as a consultant.
You have any message for our batch?
I'm just saying that they need to continue doing their passion and hunger in this field, and college also supporting them with the infrastructure as a discipline with respect to good books on OD, and bringing some kind of a case studies if they can do. So they should be push and pull both the way. So even they can contribute and taking assignment with the industry and take some of the case studies in OD. I think it will be a great pool creation where industry will get attracted towards academia. So all the best.
Thank you, sir. It was a very wonderful session. The students thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.